Hello, good afternoon, and welcome, namaste, to my tiny tour 2. This is Studio 2. If you've seen Studio 1, this will be much smaller, shorter video, because there's much less in it. But this is my drum kit studio. I teach drum kit in here. It too is part soundproofed, as you can see. The door is a little wedge shaped, but it's nothing to the same degree as the other one, but it's certainly good enough for us not to get any real complaints from the neighbours, bless them. As I walk in, you can see this is the drum kit that I teach with. It is a Tama Star Classic, all fusion sizes. I love this kit. The drums, the toms are sizes 8, 10, 12, 14, and the bass drum is a 22-inch. It really packs a wallop. All of them made of birch and bubinga plywood, which really is beautifully sonorous. It's a lovely sound. It also has 3 rotor toms, small sizes, 8, 10, 12. And if I move around to the other side of the kit, you can see again there are 2 more rotor toms. Those are 13 and 14 inches, big rotor toms. And the cymbals on this kit are Zildjian A Zildjians throughout. This is a 24-inch ride cymbal, pretty rare, topped with a 16-inch crash, piggybacking a little splash cymbal there, which would be the 10-inch. A 24-inch, that ride cymbal is a beautiful cymbal especially for jazz. It's an amazing cymbal. And if I move across, you can see more cymbals on this kit again. A Zildjian 16-inch crash, piggybacking an Istanbul splash, and there's a little splash in your foreground here as well, which I think is the 6, so that would be 6, and that's the 8 on top of the crash. And as I go round, 2 lovely 14-inch Zildjians, A Zildjians, lovely cymbals. So that's the kit that I teach on, and this is the kit that the student sits at. And I think it's a very important thing, you know, it's not always the case by a long chalk. Very important for students to be able to play along with their teacher. Lots of teachers only have one kit, so I can't really pass anything on in real time. So if you want to pass on the feel of a piece, you really need to have 2 drum kits. So, as you can see, this is a much smaller kit than the other one. This is a standard 5 drum kit. It's a Premier Soundwave kit, and I've had this since I was 17. I'm now 60 years old, so it's a long time, and this kit has been around all around this country certainly, and partly around Europe with me in lots of bands. These are rock sizes, this kit. The toms are 13-inch, 14-inch and 16-inch floor tom. The bass drum is a whacking great 24 inches, pretty unusual. Cymbals for this kit are Sabian Pro 16-inch crash, piggybacking an 8-inch Sabian splash cymbal. And there's a little, I think it's a 10-inch splash there as well, also Sabian. The ride cymbal here is an A Zildjian with lovely cymbal, really nice toppy cymbal. And I'll take you around the rest of the room. As with the other studio, if you get the chance to have a look at that, please do. That's Studio 1. There's lots of pictures on the wall in here because that's what I like. I like a bit of clutter around me as long as it's colourful. And there's you can see the clock, which makes sure that I don't over teach. And And some pictures, including a couple of me. These are mostly cards, get well cards, birthday cards from people, mostly family. As you can see, this is Dad. You rock, born to be wild. As I move around, another board, lots of pictures of me doing various things. And around the walls again, as you can see, there is a peace sign in there, kind of important to me, because I think we've got to sort things out still. Next to that, to the right of that, a big poster of the Beatles, who are very important to me and my family. That's a very psychedelic picture, I think, of them. And then round to the right of them, we have Jimi Hendrix, cover for Axis Boulder's Love album. Beautiful thing. Kind of mixes things up nicely for me because it's a rock album, but it's a Hindu poster. Originally, this would have been a Hindu piece of artwork, and with the band, Jimmy and his band, superimposed on the front of that picture. So, which isn't a blasphemy for me, certainly. Over to the right-hand side, there's Pink Floyd, another Jimi Hendrix picture. Beneath that, Woodstock. It all started really, as far as I'm concerned. Moving over a little bit, you can see right at the back here, there's this lovely big wall hanging, I suppose, of the Beatles, which used to be my daughter's. She bequeathed it to me when she'd had enough of it, but like the rest of the family, she's also a big Beatles fan. And as I come round to the back of this kit, we have, oh, I should show you this first. Animal! And beneath Animal are the rules. Now, the rules really are contingent, as I say. Rule 1, it says have fun. Rule 2, get a grip. Rule 3, backs of hands up. Rule 4, all from the wrist. Rule 5, stay low. Rule 6, strong hand first. Rule 7, play hand to hand. Rule 8, stick with it, focus. And Rule 9, very important, smile. You're a drummer. Yeah, supposed to be having fun. So Rule 1 kind of applies for all of those. After 25 years of teaching people, I have realised that there's certain number of rules are good for people to focus on, because there are certain do's and don'ts that only time really proves. And then behind here, loads of pictures of students past and present, of which I've had hundreds since I've been teaching since 1994. So a whole heap, and a lot of them aren't here, it has to be said. Another board with lots of students upon. Another board here with mostly family playing kit or standing at the studio door. And as I go around, this is the stereo unit that I use for music, and it packs a wallop. It's 300 watts, which it needs to be, of course, to get above 2 drum kits, but it's perfectly usable. And as I come down, bookcase rammed, hundreds of books on music, all of them, and the top shelf is DVDs, some Beatles figures, Yellow Submarine, all kinds of rubbish really, but it's fun. And if I come to the right of that stand, look, no drum studio would be complete without a Dalek, at least one Dalek, and a TARDIS, of course, and loads of CDs. Come to the other side. More pictures of me doing stuff, various guises, and more CDs down here. I always think it's nice to have toys in here, and the reason being that a lot of the children I teach, our children I should say, might have brothers, sisters, even parents who might have nothing else to do, so they can either read a book from my bookshelf, they can play with these things. These are inspirational pictures, one way or another, for me. And last but not least, this is the music stand that I use. Kind of important message here, really, because I teach my own course. I also teach grades for anybody that wants to do grades, but I prefer to teach my own course at least at the same time, or preferably on its own, because I think it's much more fun. I've been, what, 45 years playing drum kit on the road with bands. I learned everything the hard way, really, not by reading. That came much later. But just so you know, I have something like 80, 90 songs now, all of which pop or rock standards, the kind of songs that people ought to know. I learned them, as I say, the hard way with bands in front of audiences often. But I've transcribed all of these right down to what they call standard notation. And the main strength of this is you can take this notation and, you know, once you've learned how to use it, you can do this on a piano or a trombone, a trumpet, a tuba, anything really. So standard notation throughout, very handy. Okay. As I say, I've been teaching for a very long time. I've had hundreds of students. It's been a wonderful journey for me, and if you really want to learn, as I say, if you really want to learn something, teach it. Okay, if you're interested in drum kit lessons, please get in touch. If you're interested in guitar lessons, which I do in the other studio, please get in touch. If you're interested in tabla, didgeridoo, djembe, which is a major part of my life these days, djembe drum, get in touch. There are all these other options, bongos, congas as well, if you're interested. All right, looking forward to hearing from you. Take care. Bye.